For those of us with a center console car, when you get in and put your elbow down, does it crack, crunch, or do nothing at all? Well, that's what's happened to our car over time. The plastic piece on the inside has broken and broken into a bunch of little pieces. When I pick it up, I hear them fall down and rattle around. So today, we're going to take that apart and fix it. As I thought, you can see this little piece there right here. All the plastic is broken, and that's the part we're going to work on fixing. So now that I know it's kind of it's just yeah, it's just not anything there but this plastic piece. We might can make something to fit in that hole, but we're gonna have to take this thing out and kind of figure something out to do with it, or a way to fix it. I was thinking I could put just a piece of wood in there up here at the top, but now that I see how the screw holes are, we might have to do a little more adjustment and figuring to see if we can figure something out, especially if you're going to end up dropping your elbow on it. There's all the broken plastic pieces that were up underneath. Every time I opened the thing, I could hear it rattling inside, hear them fall down. Well, what I found was a couple of pieces of tin that I had left over from another project. So I'm going to put two of those together, probably glue them together so that they'll cover the opening, and then still put the piece of wood underneath just for even more support. That'll be sandwiched between that and the other plastic piece that goes on the inside. Hopefully that will be strong enough to keep my elbow from going through. Alright guys, I glued together two pieces of tin because that stuff is pretty thin, so I just wanted to try and give it a little bit of extra thickness. So let's see how our glue did. I put a bunch on there last night, so I did pretty good. So we'll see how that holds together. To patch up our hole, I think I'm going to put that padding underneath and then put a couple of pieces bigger on top to cover the whole piece here underneath the tin. So I'm going to cut a couple more strips and cover that up, and then we're going to just glue the whole thing over the top of the hole. And then I'm going to have to shave the wood down. The wood is too thick, so I'll get my planer and shave that down a little bit. So after a couple of days, it looks like the glue thing didn't work real well. So what I might do is put a little bit of glue here where there is contact surface, and then put the lid back on, the rubber lid, and let it dry like that, which is going to take a lot longer than a couple of days. So because there's still a little bit of wet glue on the edges, so remind me to stop saying so. Well, it fits pretty nice in there now, so I think we are going to perhaps glue it. Well, no, it doesn't. It's got little raised grids in there, so it wouldn't really stick with glue. So we'll just screw in the top piece and see how it works. Alright, looks like we have a slight problem. I've got the inside plate held on by, well, hard to see, that little piece that broke off. Actually, there's one on each side, and they've both broken off to keep that plate in place while you put the cover on so it doesn't slide around, and then you screw this plate to it on the outside. So we're gonna have to go back in the shop and make something for those to keep this thing in place. I'm gonna try gluing the one piece I have and see if that will hold it. If not, we'll have to come back and make something else. I just took some glue and dropped it in those 3 holes, plus made an attempt to put this guy in place, and we'll see if it holds. If it holds, we're great. I think the glue up here on this wood will hold it to the piece of wood, even though the wood's not screwed down, but it will give me enough that it will be held in place once I put the other cover on, that I can align the screws to the lid that flaps open, the spring-loaded one, to line up to the 3 holes here. Well, we'll let that dry and come back and see if we can get that thing mounted in the car. Alright guys, it's been a couple of hours with the glue drying. Let's see if we can get this baby put together and installed back in the car so I can have an armrest and a cover for my cubby hole. Let's see. Alright, there we have it. One fully functional elbow rest. Never to be broken again. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Hope to see you on the next one.